Welcome back to SicEm365 Radio.
The SicEm365 Radio Live Guest VIP Hotline is sponsored by Stonewood Dental. We are all in this together.
All right, so we mentioned yesterday the women's regional golf tournament in Baton Rouge and how that was an uproar because the tournament was canceled and the officials were on the steps, I guess from the clubhouse or whatever. And there's been a lot written, a lot said. You know what? I wasn't there. I don't know exactly what happened, but it didn't have a good look. And Jay Goble, the women's golf coach at Baylor, now joins us. They got good news in a way because they get to move on to the next part of the NCAA tournament and bracket. But at the same time, boy, you always want to be able to play. Jay, thanks for your time. I'm sure that it's been a long 3 days or so. First of all, can you tell us exactly what you think? Could the course yesterday, could it have been played on as if from basically a lot of other people have said it could?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me on. It's a very interesting question and difficult question to answer. I would say that the short answer would be yes. If you and I went out there, we could have played a round of golf out there. Was the golf course in any kind of condition to have a championship type round golf tournament? Absolutely not. There was a lot of talk about, taking all bunkers out of play for the week. We were going to have to play lift, clean, and place on the entire golf course. I think the other thing that was interesting is that they were wanting to take a couple of the holes that were par fives or long par fours and, turn them into par threes for essentially a one-day kind of shootout for the national championship. And, I don't believe that would have been ideal. And I think, ultimately the committee ended up making the best decision they could with the info they had. But, actually the crazy thing is the other days we probably could have played some golf. And, if we had a crystal ball and were able to go back and look at, the entire week, we could have found a way to get at least 36 holes in, if not more. But just kind of the way the thunderstorms came overnight, they came at like 10 o'clock in the morning when we were trying to tee off and again, dumping 7 inches of rain on the golf course in 48 hours. It literally was a perfect storm to cause us not to play golf for 3 days.
Jay, if part of this was this reaction, is this kind of, based on how the last year everything's been, is like you kind of have to make quick decisions and live with them because, waiting is not really an option anymore? Right.
Well, I mean, I don't think it was a quick decision. I think that, the thing that was interesting is like all of this stuff is in our manual. Like all of this stuff is in our procedures and protocols when we do play NCAA regionals. The thing is this was totally unprecedented. Like there has never been I don't even know if there's been a regional round canceled before, but I mean, to have 3 days in a row where literally, the golf course was not playable to a championship type, caliber. Man, it was amazing. It was, a lot of my cohorts that, been coaching for 35, 40 years, were telling us again, they've never seen anything like that in their career. So, all this stuff in our manual that we don't even think about on a yearly basis. I mean, I think that the one thing that's definitely going to happen this summer is there's going to be reform to the protocols of hosting a championship for sure.
So, Coach, you have your team all geared up to play, and then you're, waiting around, and you finally get the call that it's canceled. You advance, but, not the way you expected to. Like, what do you say to the team? Kind of how do you regroup and move on from just kind of the uncertainty you guys faced the last few days?
Yeah, I think with our team, I mean, again, we've played the most amount of competitive rounds of any team in the country this year. We have 35 tournament rounds under our belt. We were very easily the 3 seed of the tournament. We had 6 of our 10 tournaments that we played in this year, we won. I think that, when it gets down to it, I believe that my team earned a spot at the national championship. And what I told them is, the regular season counts. We were able to play a lot. I mean, we made tons of sacrifices, to be able to play as much as we did because, our team took online classes and weekly COVID tests and, missing out on a lot of the college experience just to get to play. And, my hat's off to my team that did everything in their power to be the best golf team they could be this year. And ultimately they're rewarded for a great year. And, for that, I'm really grateful to them. But, again, I think that on paper, the Baylor Bears deserve to be at the national championship this year.
Well, yeah, you guys have a high rank, a high seeding. Excuse me. What would have been worse though is if, in fact, they would have had one round and then washed out. Would they have just gone to the one round totals?
See, and that's again the crazy thing that's written down in our manual of procedures is that yes, they would have went off of one round that in my opinion would have been somewhat compromised in the fact that we're not playing real golf. We're moving holes up 50, 100, 150 yards to play them as par threes. We're lift cleaning, placing it everywhere. We're taking all bunkers out of play on the golf course. In my opinion, the committee did the right thing. Now, I think that the wording that the tournament director came out on that back staircase and said was not ideal. And right. I think that's where all of the uproar came from is, the definition of playable. I mean, again, you and I could have went out there yesterday and played golf. Now, would it have been a championship level? Absolutely not. It would have been, hey, Smoak, you hit it in the water up there that's in the middle of the fairway, just throw another ball down and play golf.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, the wording was very poor, and I think that's where people are stuck on the wording, man, because he was obviously nervous to come out there and speak to, over 100 people at the bottom of that staircase. And, with COVID happening last year and the way our season was abruptly ended, people are at an edge and, it does mean a lot to them. And this was kind of like a two-year deal to get to that championship and to have the opportunity to go to nationals and then to kind of abruptly have it taken away like it was last year was, I mean, my heart goes out to a lot of those teams because, they were, it's splitting hairs sometimes when you go from the 6th seed to the 7th seed to the 9th seed. I mean, again, on any given day, those teams are as good as any team in the country. And that's kind of, and they knew that. And they knew that all they needed was an opportunity. I mean, my team over the years has been in that same position. And, all we've wanted is a chance. And we've taken advantage of that before. And, my heart really went out to them because, it was a terrible way to end a season for a lot of people. And it was a terrible way to end a career for a lot of people who, been playing college golf now for 4 or 5 years.
Well, one thing I want to make sure that we differentiate between how you play golf as a scratch golfer and how I play golf, because I've seen you. In fact, I think I've even played alongside you, maybe for a few holes, and you've won.
I'm a +4. I'm not a scratch golfer, just to let you know.
I just criticized you by saying you're a scratch golfer. You're a +4.
Yeah, I'm not that bad.
No. Golly, this is the last time we'll ever have Jay. No, because the difference of +4 for those who are, a scratch golfer means you play par. Yeah, +4 means you average -4, 4 under par on the competitive rounds that you play. Jay Goble, again, women's golf coach. Now you have this little break.
Right. Very little.
Are you concerned? I don't know. Concern's the wrong word. Can you still have enough where you guys can stay sharp by not playing those competitive rounds and getting on that beautiful facility you have and whatever else you guys do?
So no, I'm not concerned. My team's been playing and practicing a ton the last couple of weeks, and in fact, Gerling Core 2 weeks ago qualified for the U.S. Open. That's going to be at Olympic here coming up. Most of my team played in that U.S. Open qualifier, actually down at the Golf Club of Houston, where we won 2 events this year. And, I have another player, Britta Snyder, who played in the USGA 4-ball event up in Merido 2 weeks ago. So my team's been still competing, and they've been playing and practicing hard. I'm not concerned at all. I think honest, to be 100% honest with you, I mean, we played 35 competitive rounds this year. To have a couple days to breathe is okay for us. And what we're actually going to do is, the plan I believe now is we're gonna get out to Phoenix actually on Monday. So the weather in Waco looks to be a little rainy the next 5 or 6 days. So we're going to get out to Phoenix a little bit earlier than everybody else and try to get used to that heat and play and practice out there, because we're pretty confident that the weather's going to be okay there, and we're not going to get 7 inches of rain at any point. So, the plan is to leave Monday afternoon.
Don't tempt the weather gods, Jay.
Yeah. No, it's Phoenix.
It's man. Phoenix, man. That's why it looks the way it does. Craig, do you have one more for Coach Goble?
Yeah, Coach, we saw what men's basketball did earlier this year. You look across just the various programs, and everybody's seemingly having some great success, your program included. Just curious, are you a believer in a rising tide lifts all boats, and just kind of what the feeling is around, athletics and the success that's being had in Waco right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that, my 2011 was my first year in Waco, and we had, at that time, unprecedented success up to that point, whereas I believe it was probably one of the first years that every sport at Baylor made it the postseason. I think that we're, being able to play and being in the Big 12 Conference and, us being even allowed to play an entire season. I talked to the other coaches around the country. They haven't even been able to play but half a season maybe, and it's been very jaded at that. So, my hats go off to Mac Rhodes and the Big 12, and they've really done everything to give us an opportunity to let our student athletes play and compete. And yes, successful teams. I mean, I think success breeds success, and obviously seeing what Coach Drew has done and what all the other programs around Baylor. I mean, men's tennis has been awesome this year. You go down the list. I mean, our teams are very successful, and that's one of the things that we all love most about Baylor is man, it's not just one sport that's doing great. We're all being supported very well, and we're all trying to bring some hardware home to the Baylor family.
I will share this one tweet. The TPC Louisiana, and I've played there many years ago on a golf trip with a bunch of listeners, but it says the TPC Louisiana is open and willing to host the NCAA Women's Regionals following the recent cancellation. Let us know if we can help. A little shot across the bow from the TPC Louisiana. Of course, that's
well, let me tell you something really funny is that I called them on Tuesday, so we were going to drive from Baton Rouge down there to practice. Closed.
I might have to add that to that note there. I might have to just I think I will.
I called them, wanted to bring the team down to the range or to play 9 holes, and I called them at 12:30 on Tuesday. I called 15 courses around the Baton Rouge, New Orleans area. Every one of them closed.
Wow.
So that's really funny.
Okay. Hey,
Jay. Really, really funny.
Yeah, thanks for dropping that in. That's a little nugget. I might not be able to resist a response to that. Thanks for your time. Good luck in Arizona. Enjoy. I know you will. And thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Jay
Thank
Goble.
you. Appreciate it, guys.
Baylor women's coach. They will now play May 21st to the 26th at Greyhawk Golf Club in Scottsdale. Anything out there is unbelievable. And so how about the TPC Louisiana? That's kind of a blanky thing to do, kind of a slap in the face, and then to come to find out, I'm glad I brought that up, because then Jay Goble goes, well, you know what, on Tuesday, you weren't open either, along with many other courses in that area. I played at that course. It is gorgeous. Man, there's a ton of water.